Okay, so now we're going to start adding our bias binding to our corset. Right, let's get the front of it. Okay, the front obviously because we've got our white bits here. Also we've got to steam this and press this out, but we'll do this all at the end. Okay, bias binding. Right, now I am using, or we are using, I believe that's 1.5. Let me just measure that quickly. Yeah, it's about 1.4, 1.5. So I'm using 1.5 ivory cotton bias binding. Now this is just toiling. You can use any kind of bias binding you wish. This stuff's actually very, very light and easy, which is perfect. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm literally going to start at one end at the bottom here and work my way all the way around the outside of the corset and end up back at the other side just here. Okay, that's how we're going to do this. Also, one thing to note, when you come to make it, you want to make sure that you're starting on the front. No, you're starting on the back. Forgive me. So, you want to find the back of your corset, and obviously for us we can tell because it's got the silver, little silver eyelets, okay? Although to be honest, the back looks nicer than the front. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so basically you want to start off here. You want to lay your bias binding. If you see, it's got these two little kind of hinges that open up. So you want to open it up here, and you want to go to the bottom of your corset, and you'll have this kind of notch here. Okay, obviously where the bottom crotch meets sort of like the centre back and stuff. Okay. Now this is going to get a little bit complicated, and this is a bit of a tester for me, but we'll see how it goes. Basically, what I want to do is I want to make sure that bit sticks out there, okay? And I'm going to just literally lay my bias binding just on that edge. Can you get a real good close-up on that? Is that alright? So this is the inside of my corset, okay? We're starting on the inside of my corset, and I'm just laying my bias binding. I'm pulling this back, that notch, just laying my bias binding right on the very edge there, okay? I've opened it up, I'm laying it right on the very edge. I'm just going to get a pin, or a couple of pins, and I'm just literally going to pin it in there, okay? I'm going to go all the way up, same with this bit, just going to pin it every, like, you know, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches, it doesn't matter. It's just to secure it on there so you can kind of, you know, so it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't move. Okay, that's wonderful. So just pin it like every 2 inches all the way around your corset, okay? And, you know, all the way around here, pin it all the way around, and I'll show you that in a minute once we've pinned that, okay? Yeah. Okay, so we've now pinned, as you can see, we've pinned our bias binding all the way around our corset, okay? I just want to make this very clear. When it comes to the corners, you want to literally just pin it up to the top bit, and then obviously just kind of pinch it together like that, and then you'll be able to, what do you call it? Pin along the top as well. Also around the corners, this stuff, bias binding, is cut on the bias, hence why it's called bias binding, which basically means that it will nicely mould and stretch around curves. You see how that's happened there? Okay, so we're just doing this all the way around the entire corset. As you can see, it's all looking fantastic, wonderful. And so now all we're going to do is we're basically going to stitch, okay? Just one big long stitching curve from here. Make sure this is out of the way. Okay, just want to get that out of the way so it doesn't interfere. I just want to stitch that very faint line. Can you see that really faint line? It's basically that bit there. But you want to stitch this really faint line all the way around. It should be 0.5 from the edge of your corset, all the way around your entire corset, okay? All the way back down to the bottom bit here. And also remember to make sure you don't get this bottom bit involved, okay? You're just stitching it to that point, just to there, okay? And that's lovely. And then once we've done that, I'll show you the next bit. Okay, so we finally, we have now basically stitched our bias binding on there, you see, and we've just gone on that tiny little line that was shown by that little kind of groove. And this is beautifully done, so it's perfect. Okay, and now literally what we're going to do is we're going to get our scissors. Okay, so literally I'm just going to get my scissors now, and I'm going to start trimming off this edge, because obviously we've got all this kind of crap and it's going to get in the way. So also, I'm going to trim off about 1 millimetre, if not 2 millimetres on the side of this. Can you get a bit of a close-up on that? Yeah, I'm just going to trim off like 1 mil to 2 mil just off that side bit, and this is I'm going to do this literally all the way around, okay? So I'm just doing this. You can hold this little bit here to give you a bit of, you know, to help you. All the way around. Okay, so continue up here. When it comes to the corner bit, okay, just literally just nick off that tiny little edge. So it should be 0.5 from that corner point, roughly. Okay, that's maybe a little too small. And then just clean it up, make it a nice little round curve. Okay, just by doing that. Okay, and with the corners, this is absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Just keep trimming that 1 mil or 2 mil off the edge of it. Okay, all the way around. And with the corners, obviously, just make that little round kind of curved edge. And then you're ready to do the next bit, which will be, let's just cut this off quickly. The next bit is basically we're taking this edge here, and remember this is the inside of our corset. We're just going to roll this over